Hello, hello. Instead, I am trying to force myself to actually remember to say when I have updates and stuff instead of just immediately going to the game like, haha, okay, time to game now. Because I actually do have some stuff to say that I forgot about to talk about last stream. So before we get into our funny little visual novel here, first I'm going to give some updates to this fair little channel. First of all, I have since like I joked last time that I only played Cookie Run. I did not just play Cookie Run. My entire little break. I actually added some like cute little like redeem things. So like like the you get it. You see, give Erna food now and pet Erna. You see this little thing next to me? This fucking thing? This disgusting thing right below me? That's Erna, and I love her. And she's my beloved little guy right there. A girl, well, you get it. But you can cook her a delicious plate of grilled chicken whenever you want. At a infrequent frequency. It can also give her little pats on the head. You can't touch me. You can't do these things to me. I am an independent creature who can feed myself. But she needs your sustenance or she will die of dysentery. So that's why I put those there, because I'm not feeding her. You guys have to feed her. That's your responsibility now. But yeah, this game, Fatal 12, I actually, I say I don't know anything about it other than the Yuri, and that's kind of true. But also, I kind of know the general idea of, Fatal 12. Because I was, had some exposure to, the mechanics of it. But nothing about the actual game itself. And I've had it for a while, sitting in my Steam library, and I've been wanting to get around to reading through it, but so many visual novels. When you have too many of them, it's like you have no visual novel. So I never got around to it. But I was like, you know what? Why don't we just go through it on stream, a little... After Of the Devil, there's a visual novel shaped hole in my heart, and we need to fill it immediately or I'll die. You don't want me to die, do you? Don't answer that question. Anyways, we're going to probably go through a bit week by week until we finish it. And it's gonna be really cool, trust me. Alright. We're popping over here. I have to unmute desktop audio. Yes, I'm smart. I'm smart. I don't know if there's voice acting, so I don't know if I should keep the sound up a little higher than usual. I'll leave it right there. That's too quiet. That's fine. Probably sure it's all quiet right now, but let me look at the settings real quick. Screen mode. Let's see. Isn't the window transparent? Oh, okay. I'll just leave it right there. And read message speed. Put that up a bit. Yeah. This seems okay to me. I wish I could preview this stuff, but oh well. It seems functional enough to me. It seems good. It seems like it'll be very audible. It also has voices. Interesting. So yeah, Fatal 12. Let's see what this is about. Hehe. Someone who knows kind of what it's about, sort of, maybe. What do we got? We got Roman numerals and in actual numbers. I should put my glasses, actually. My eyesight isn't that bad. It just makes it easier to see. A bit easier on the eyes for me. Put them on. There we go. There are a number of terms used to describe a sequence of events that lead to a specific outcome. Some call it life. Others call it a story. One is responsible for much during the sequence, such as choices picked, relationships built, and mistakes made. All of that is for the sake of proceeding along a predetermined path. That is the natural order of a world ruled by the concept of fate. Fate never strays from its course, regardless of how cruel it may be. My life and the events in it thus far is simply the product of fate leading me to a certain outcome. That's why I've never once given a thought to any missed possibilities found along this path. My life has never been anything worth talking about in the first place, I never had the luxury of considering the what ifs. After all, I've convinced myself life has no do-overs. Once the story ends, that's it. But my name is Shishimai Ringa. I'm a second year of Amacha Girls University High School, a rather famous all-girls school in the big city. All-girls school, you say? Unlike my middle school, which is a hodgepodge of top students and those who barely showed up for class, this is the realm of refined, wealthy ladies. A realm I clearly don't belong in. In fact, they wasted no time in labeling me as a delinquent of sorts. One reason, really the main reason, is the golden streaks in my hair. However, it's my natural hair color, so the school itself has no issue with it. Not gonna get hassled for it either. It's just a bit too out there for these sheltered students. The classic, oh no, this weird stuff, this is just my natural hair color. Don't worry about it. That's normal. The main reason I chose Amacho was because it didn't seem to have many regulations in regards to appearance. It turned out they just didn't list anything due to its unspoken rules being based on being a traditional school. I was pretty pissed off when I got treated like a delinquent, despite having not broken any rules at the time. Fewer than 3 months later, I've stopped caring. Much like how I have my own values, the girls have theirs. Girls here have theirs. I can't understand their viewpoint, so it's only natural they can't understand mine. Tell the truth, I am pretty content with making no effort to look at life from another's point of view. That is, until a certain event causes a massive change in my life. It all starts on a certain day before Golden Week. I got hit by a bus. Oh, I was joking. Okay. Huh. Oh, you could... Okay, it tells you stuff. Location, Shinjuku Station. One of Tokyo's main stations, which provides access to a number of rail lines. Its position as a major commuter route earned it the award for the highest number of commuters in the world in 2015. Ringa herself makes use of it often, both for school and during her free time. Oh, we have buttons here. Main menu, settings, load data, save data, summary, card book. Okay, I guess I opened for card book mode. The voices were kind of quiet. I'm gonna... Maybe that'll help. Sorry. I relayed my observation to Naomi as we passed through a ticket gate. You're right. Oh. It's Japanese. I might just turn off the voices, if possible. I just mute it. As nice it would be, like... I'm gonna read everything out anyway, so... Oh, you're right. I'm surprised you noticed. It's not often you see something like that happen. Right? Oh, sorry for interrupting you. What were you saying? Well... I seem to have forgotten too. This is Hitsushi Naomi, a first year at Amecha. You might assume that I know her from club activities or something, like a student council, but it's coincidence that brought us together. She may be my junior, but I simply say her as a friend because age difference doesn't matter much to me. We're heading back to my place right now, making our way to the station platform to wait for the train. Ah! Watch it! She yelps as she trips over nothing but air. Fortunately, I snag her hand and keep her from falling on her face. I could see whether I should turn up the sound or not. A little bit. That should be fine. Well, she tugs me forward in the process because she's a bit taller than me, but she manages to regain her balance quick. Oh, this is gonna end badly. I'm seeing the signs. Tripping over nothing. Sorry again. No worries. Thank you so much. Now you're overreacting. Not sure if it's due to her meek nature or not, but Naomi tends to trip herself up pretty often. Both like figuratively and literally, I guess. But you know what? I get it. I have like the worst spatial awareness myself. Like, I'm getting better about it. It's been fine, but I tend to like bump into things a lot because I like underestimate like corners and stuff. I gotten better at it since I like started driving. Which kind of requires you to have good spatial awareness. So I've just kind of building that muscle, I feel like. Because I guess I just like it's something you just gotta think about. I think it's not like you just like. I feel like there's definitely like you have it or you don't, like, you know, missing a whole ass eye or so much you can do about that. But I feel like if it, like in some situations like mine, you could probably like become more aware. I hope. I hope I've become more aware. She's the kind of girl you look at and suddenly feel an inexplicable urge to protect. That's kind of gay, I don't know. Kind of gay to look at a woman and say I want to protect you, you know? You're gonna protect her, huh? Holding her in your arms? Is that it? Well, What's up? My hand, please. Oops, I forgot to let go of her hand after catching her. Tenting my hands, putting on my Yuri goggles. I see things going on here that no one else can see. Oh, sorry. Did I hurt you? No, not at all. It's just, well... She casts her eyes downward as she answers. Maybe I squeezed a bit too tight without realizing it? I let go with an apologetic expression. She doesn't know, does she? She is unaware of the Yuriisms at present. In the room with us, or the train station with us. The train's almost here. Let's get going. She fixes her glasses, which had become askew after tripping, and points towards the platform with haste. Situations like this typically lead to a replay of events from just a minute ago. What? Hey, you're a real handful, you know that? She bumps right into a passerby the moment she starts to walk towards the platform. Even worse, it causes them both to topple over. I'm so sorry. Sorry. She's a bit too clumsy for her own good. Yeah, I wonder if they're ever gonna, like, morbid thought, but considering how, like, I don't know how often the rate of people getting hurt at train stations are, but I wonder if they'll ever, like, do, like, a... I know I've seen, like, some countries, like, they put, like, a fence that, like, comes out automatically when, like, the train's not there, so you can't, like, get in there at all, and it goes down when it comes. I feel like you need, like... I guess you could just do, like, motion sensors? I don't know. I don't know much about technology. That's a lie. I know quite a bit about technology. I make my way over as they get back to their feet. She bumped into what seems to be a young girl. She's about the same height as me, but her face is definitely younger. Sometimes now we get mistaken for a middle schooler thanks to her big round eyes, but that's not the case with this girl. Huh? Are you okay? I notice how pallid her eyes are when I try to speak with her. Her hair's pure white, but mostly obscured by her hat. She definitely looks young, but her facial features stand out more than your average person's. Safe to assume that she's a foreigner then. That means her hair isn't dyed either. Unlike Naomi, this girl has fallen backward. Since Naomi bumped into the girl's back, you'd think she would have fallen face first, but she quickly spun around while falling. Not only that, but she also made sure to cradle the bag that was on her back. Based on its size, I guess she's here on vacation. Chances are she's carrying something fragile in there, like a camera. She's by herself too, so I'm assuming she came here with her family and has somehow gone lost. What I think is a key on her bag, at first it's actually just a keychain. She hops back to her feet, bag in hand, her glare drilling into me. You should apologize, Naomi. She seems a bit too panicked to get up on her own, so I lend her my hand once again. I'm so sorry about that. Wait, are you a foreigner? What do I say in situations like this? Sorry? Pardon? You should take a deep breath first. She offers nothing beyond an empty stare as Naomi apologizes and bows her head. She seems like she wants to say something, but for whatever reason, opts not to. Eventually, she runs off toward the platform without making it clear whether or not she understood our apology. She spins around to face us one more time, but I get the feeling that she's locking eyes with me, not Naomi. It's funny. Thanks to her unique appearance, she still stands out in the crowd. Then again, my hair causes me to stand out as well, so that's probably how she spots me so quickly. In the end, I'm not able to tell if she finds her parents or if she actually has come here all alone. Sorry. You know, no point saying that to me. You did apologize to her, and she didn't seem to be injured, so I guess it's fine. That being said, you really gotta pay more attention to your surroundings. Right. I'll be sure to use severe caution with each and every step I take from now on. You're always gonna trip again if you do that, right? Oh. Can't see her anymore. Is something the matter? Don't tell me he actually did get hurt. Wait, he? Wasn't that a girl? Was it? You'd be right, considering how pretty she was. Which means I've been doubly rude. The sound of an approaching train rises as our conversation follows. Much like Naomi, we make our way over to the platform. Try not to trip stepping in this time, okay? Okay. We make our way onto the train bound for Shinjuku, having largely forgotten about the person Naomi bumped into. We board the next train at Otsuka Station. My place isn't far from there. We first had to get off at Shinjuku Station before taking the metro for 2 more stations. The only issue is that we're making this journey at 5 p.m., pretty much rush hour, so the trains are packed. Naomi and I get practically glued together on our journey to Shinjuku. Sorry. It's my fault we got caught in all the foot traffic. Don't worry about it. I'm used to this, so it's no big deal. Sorry again. Huh? Isn't that? I spy a familiar bag from amongst the crowd. Well, the bag is held for standard, so it's actually the keychain that catches my eye. Yep, it's the kid from earlier. Standing right in the middle of the passenger car, bag hugged tight against their chest. They're not tall enough to reach the overhead straps, but I doubt they'll fall over thanks to how crammed it is. Didn't expect them to be in the same car. Did something happen? Oh wait. What the fuck is that? Their bag's open. The strap has probably unfastened a bit to the people rubbing against it on the train. I'm just worried because the kid doesn't seem to have noticed. The other passengers probably don't care enough to notice either. Some are reading the newspaper, others are killing time by checking out all the ads, but most are on their phones. I doubt I would have noticed if Naomi hadn't bumped into them. And that's why I'm the only one to see what they are doing. The deadly serious expression, almost as if they are being squashed by incredible pressure. What's that? Something black is peeking out of the bag. It looks mechanical, but different from a camera or laptop. For whatever reason, my mind leaps to the conclusion that I've only read in fiction. It's a bot. Before I can finish, it happens. A flash emits out of the bag. A bot. Naomi! Holy fuck, it's a bomb. What? It's a fucking bomb? The detonation is almost instantaneous. A wave of heat propels throughout the train car, enough to feel like my skin is being seared off. A sharp, explosive roar comes right after, puncturing my eardrums. I duck in front of Naomi to protect her and then push her away. I feel my body being pushed by the explosive shockwave, too. In that moment, my body is burned beyond repair within the flames. Shit. This really is their Fatal 12. What the fuck? Oh yeah, let's go hang with our friends. Bomb. Bomb. I was expecting I guess the bus, but that's somehow more normal than bomb. However, my consciousness remains intact. I hear a voice. I don't feel anything anymore. Vivid memories pulse through me. The shockwave, the pain, the heat stirring through my body. And yet, I no longer feel any of it. My consciousness begins to fade. Or maybe I've already lost it. It's just but a remnant of it before it fades away completely. The final, fleeting moments of a consciousness drowned in a sea of fire. Rinka! Rinka! My sight gradually fades too. No doubt my consciousness will be spirited away, like a leaf in a gust of wind. If nothing else, being able to hear that voice puts me at ease. Holy shit. I'm sorry, I have to sit there and think about the fact that someone just bombed a train. I've always get your story to like the, you know, the important point. I did not see train bombing as on the top of the list. There's no arguing that fate has decided to end my life here and now. Yep, your life sure is ended. Oh, animation. Cards. Background. Another background. Her life is not over. Hey. Naomi. Ooh, and other characters. Who the hell is that guy? Ah, that's too cool. Oh. Oh wait, it's that character. Ah, fuck. Oh shit. This is really cool. She's doing so many cool poses, honestly. I also wanted to giving up. Fatal 12. That was an explosive opening, to say the least. Pun totally intended. Rennie? Eartha Rennie? Rinka, are you there? Oh, it's apparently May 2nd. Assuming that's in the English order and not American order and not other countries. Rinka? I hear two voices calling out to me. I know who they belong to without even seeing their faces. Wake up, damn it! Ouch. A sharp pain rushes through my forehead, causing me to finally lift my face off my arms. No doubt this will sting for a while. What happened to the fire? Fire? Are you dreaming? Sounds weird. Dream? So, I was asleep? Just a little. No need to be polite about it now, Arun. The one responsible for waking me up is Okuma Mao, classmate. As usual, she's got her wildly colored hair tied up nice and neat into pigtails. Besides her is Naomi, and seeing how they're still in their uniforms, I guess we just got back from school. We're at Lion's house. A cafe run by my grandmother. The first floor serves as the cafe, while the second floor serves as her home. Since I'm living with her, my room's also on the second floor. Although it's probably more accurate to say I'm living on my own right now, considering she's gone off to the countryside to help nurse an ailing relative. The classic protagonist, the guardian figure is fucked off to do some shit, leaving their kid at home alone. I wish that happened to me when I was a teenager. Then again, my school was very far, and we did not have good public transport, so that probably would have been more of a pain than anything. You still have a sleep there, Rennie? I'll let the absolute legend awake you then. I'll let absolute legend wake. She clicks her mechanical pencil and presses it against my cheek before scribbling all over me. Ouch! I'm awake, I'm awake. Keep the lead away. Mao, you're a monster. Naomi's visibly disturbed by how much Mao seems to have enjoyed doing that. Well, it certainly has helped to wake me up. A lingering issue, however, is that I can't remember why we're here. Well, you died. And then you lived. There we go. How much more complicated could it be, really? Sorry, but what are we doing here again? Oh my, did the pencil technique fail to wake you up? I think my memory's kind of fuzzy thanks to that dream. That dream, yep. That's like dust trailing by her. It took me a second. I thought it was like she was like shaking off like the dust of time for a second. Like, wait, no, it's just like that's just like dust. I can't remember what I dreamt about. I mentioned a fire when I woke up, but I don't recall being involved in one. The fact that I can't remember is starting to annoy me. Wow. Weirdo. Naomi interjects after I fire a glare at Mao. Turns out their cafe is opening a class. I fumbled that line. Well, it turns out our class is opening a cafe for the cultural festival next month. I was appointed as head of the committee for it. She's now making no attempt to hide the fact that she's been forced into it. No, I volunteered, yep. It's gonna be great. Granted, she's probably the most fit for the job, considering how serious and thorough she is when it comes to this stuff. I heard about your family running this place, so when I asked, you said it was fine for me to tag along. Her explanation helps me grasp the situation. Oh, that's right. I told you to come over so we could chill and hash things out. The store is only open for regulars right now since my grandmother's away. Sometimes we get a first timer or two, but I've only got simple stuff in the menu for now, so I can handle things on my own. It doesn't get really busy, so there's no issue in inviting her along. I like the coloring of the art so far. Oh. I'll take a break. Okay. Boom. There we go. Yippee. Okay, we're back. Yippee. Alright, so I had a thought that was going on. I think the coloring in the art so far is really pretty. I don't know. It's very shiny, but not like overly shiny. It's like the right amount of shiny. And eye-catching. The folds are very nice, the color too. Shout out to that real quick. I just had to shout that out. As my gran always says, Linehouse is everyone's second home. So there you have it. Yep, there you have it. I'd hoped I'd hear that today. I understand what she means. This is the first time I've been here, but I feel so welcome. Just make sure you don't feel too at home and fall asleep. Oh, shut it. Mind explaining what you're doing here then? I was bored. Uh-huh. Figures. What does your class plan on doing? Can't remember if it was a haunted house or a fortune teller. It's crazy, like, school festivals always seem like a crazy, like, part of, like, I can't imagine that, but then again, we had, like, I'm trying to think of, like, kind of, like, maybe just, like, stuff that Americans... We had pancake fundraisers before. I think it was mostly for, like, the fire department or something. Like, where you come in early and you, like, buy, like, a breakfast. And we'd also sell food, like, for, like, music concerts, but I think the only people buy to come for that, like, the kids. I guess there's school dances. We do have school dances. I forgot about those. Genuinely. And, like, homecoming shit. I didn't go to any of that stuff, though. I went to prom. But that was because I, like, gave him the FOMO, and I was like, if I don't go, I'm gonna regret the memory for the rest of my life. So I fucking shelled out, like, a bunch of money in cash to get a ticket at the last minute. And you know what? They only had cake there. They didn't have any actual food. They just had cake. And it was really boring. The only part that anyone, like, ever actually looked excited about was when they fucking played that one song that's like, we bless the rain sound in Africa, or whatever the fuck, that was like a meme song when I was a teenager. And that's the only thing I remember about it. Everything else is just kind of a blur. Now I remember some conversations, but those conversations are between me and the person who had them. So it's okay. Wait a second. I need to check something real quick. Oh yeah, I added like I had this like little stream thing, you see? And for some reason I did this yesterday, but like I would change like the color to be like a flat color because I didn't like how unreadable it was. But it doesn't want to save the change. Come on. Color picker. Yeah, I changed it to this, see? And I saved it. And then... See, there you go. Now that's more visible, right? It basically reset all the changes I made. That's actually generally kind of like, wow, can't believe you do that, you know? Because I would do like the top right? Or is it bottom right? I don't know which one looks nicer, but I do like this. And I set up like that, and then like it didn't save any of my changes because it hates me. I'll save it again and see if that works. Because obviously I'm not gonna like I don't want to refresh it right now because that's kind of a pain. But I added the background yesterday, make it more readable, and I got rid of it. That's so sad. Alright, anyways, back to... I got distracted by tech issues. As is par for the course. I'll probably mess more with it later to see if it can save my settings. For now, let's focus on this. Let's focus on the visual novel instead. Basically, we haven't decided. Really? Shouldn't you have some idea by now? Things will work out one way or another. I hate to say this when you're working so hard, but we don't really care about how it goes. Me and Rinny ain't the most popular gals in class after all. The committee's making sure we don't get too involved. Yep, although that's not the only reason I'm helping you. Just keep in mind that I'll be busy here sometimes. Oh. Okay, thank you. She nods, struggling to hide her concern. After hearing that, she probably thinks we're being bullied. We're used to how we're treated, though. It's not like they're going out of their way to ignore us. They just rather avoid us whenever possible. It's funny, though. Mao still gets along with plenty of the girls, and I'm pretty sure no one outright dislikes me. It might be more accurate to say they try not to get too involved in our lives. They understand that we're different, so it creates a rift between us. Speaking of different, we're not the only two. Mishima Miharu, who's probably at work right now, is our comrade in that regard. Hey, I'd like an iced latte. We don't serve lattes. We have cafe al latte. That'll do. You realize you're not getting it for free, right? Never mind. Water. Fine. It's on the house. Just this once. How about you, Naomi? Are you sure? Come on, now, Rin. This is cheapskate Captain Rinko we're talking about. Better take her up on his rarest of offers. Well, may I have a black coffee, please? Sure. Coming right up. Aw, she's in a little cafe uniform. Oh, my cat wants out of my room. I need to go free her real quick. She has been granted freedom. I make my way to the kitchen, wash my hands, and don my apron. Woohoo, we love sanitary conditions here, you know. Sanitary kitchen conditions. You're a pro the moment you enter the kitchen. That's what my grandmother always tells me, and I believe it. I may be making these for friends, but that's no excuse to do it half-hearted. Oh, look at that! Chicken coffee. Anyone who orders a black coffee gets a nice serving of full city Guatemalan beans. Full city is a roasting method used to reduce the acidic tones of the beans and make them more bitter. Beans from Guatemala are typically more acidic than others, so this kind of full roast is a perfect way to balance their acidity and bitterness. I prepare the siphon before placing the flask on an alcohol lamp. The key here is making sure the flame's positioned just a touch to the side of the middle of the flask. Once it starts boiling, I shake it gently and then wait for the beans to fall. Once they're all in the flask, it's just a matter of letting them sit until they become fragrant. Ooh, fancy. Here you go, Naomi. Oh, wow. What a nice scent. I could smell it from here. Heh, thanks. Naomi's comment makes me happy. But I've still got a long way to go. My grandmother knows how to apply different brewing methods based on the bean type, for example. That's some real fancy stuff there. All I'm doing now is applying her instructions to make things easier for me. There's still plenty to learn. Alright, next up is Mao's iced latte. You make this by preparing coffee first, and then adding plenty of ice into a glass before topping it off with some milk. This way, you have to see the coffee's black and the milk's white mixed together in the glass. Once that's done, I jam a straw in it and walk over to Mao with some syrup. Here you go. Tell me if you need more syrup. Thanks, bunches! I make myself some coffee after that, take off my apron, wash my hands, and return to my seat. We got professional here. Oh, hi! Welcome in! Robot Unit 13. I wonder what happened to units 1 through 12. Hopefully nothing terrible. This is so much better than when I make it home. You're incredible, Rinka. This is a cafe after all. But my gran is the incredible one, not me. Speaking of which, does no one else work here? Mao dumps half of the syrup into the cup before even giving it a taste, and then pours in the remaining half. We have a sugar fiend over here, my goodness. Hearing the ice clinks as she stirs it is nice and satisfying. Well, I mean, it's a pretty small place. My gran handled the place on her own before leaving, so we don't need anyone else. She's taking care of her relative, right? Your grandma's taking care of her relative? That sounded a bit incredulous. I support her. I just usually don't see it that way around. Nope. She planned on closing the store temporarily, but I convinced her to let me keep it open whenever I'm not at school. Figured I'd be able to make coffee, no problem, but it turned out to be way more difficult than I imagined. Even after a month of trying, she hadn't given me a seal of approval. I knew we'd have to close the store at that rate, so I really went for it and managed to barely get her approval right before she left. Gran's a real harsh trainer, I see. How long have you been running it for now? She left near the end of March, so about a month? I take a sip of my own coffee after answering. Definitely smells and tastes a lot better than when I first started to make some. I'm used to drinking your coffee, so the fact that I can answer with pride means I'm definitely getting there. Granted, I'm still a long ways from her level. It'd be nice if we could make coffee as good as this for the Culture Festival, but I doubt it'd be easy based on what you said. Would they even be able to tell the difference? I can see most of the students dumping in milk to counter the bitterness, just like me. I wouldn't be surprised, but that's not a problem. Plenty of parents and teachers will be there, so I'm sure they'd be pleased. I can only imagine how long it would take me to learn, considering you spent a whole month training under your grandmother. Not to mention the other people would be in charge of making it during the day, too. Yeah, I doubt it'd be possible. The equipment doesn't come cheap, either. Talk about relentless. I figured as much. We're probably best off relying on instant coffee. Whoa. All I said was that you wouldn't be able to make the same coffee as we brew here. Huh? I could set you up with our bean supplier, so you can get those on cheap. The equipment itself shouldn't exceed your budget, either. But making it? I'll ask my gran if there's a nice and simple method for you. I doubt you'll be able to make it taste the same way as here, but it should be good enough for the customers. Can't say I'm totally confident, but I'll teach you what I can. After that, it's on you. I noticed Mao grinning as I finished my spiel. She probably expected me to say that. Naomi is obviously taken aback, but she quickly starts to nod and then responds. I feel bad for relying on you this much, though. If you're willing to put the effort in, then I don't mind. Besides, being able to teach you whatever my gran comes up with should help me, too. No worries now, Rin. People often get the wrong idea thanks to how she looks, but Rinny loves to stick her neck out for others, especially friends and family. No, I don't. Anyway, you game, Naomi? There's a hint of concern in her expression, but she gives a conclusive response. If you're willing, then I'd love your help. Sold. I'll call you after my granny gets back to me then. Thank you. Guess I'll pop in every now and then when I'm bored. Don't forget you're paying next time. Freeloader. Cheapskate. It's called business. With that out of the way, we spend the rest of our time together chatting. I have to help a few customers, but they don't mind me talking with Mao and Naomi as long as I get their orders out in a timely manner. In fact, some even joined in the conversation. Not just because they're regulars, but because I've known them, plenty of them, since I was a kid. They kind of feel like relatives, in a sense. Lighthouse has always had that homely feel to it. Both me and my grandmother consider it a second home. And it's a really big place, my goodness. That's why I hope it stays that way once she gets back. Both Mao and Naomi leave just before 7 p.m. But what about the terrorism bombing? Are we not gonna address that? Are we gonna go back to that? I head up to my room on the second floor after closing and cleaning up the shop. I gotta be honest, I'm pretty excited about helping Naomi. I enjoy making coffee as it is, so it'll be nice if other people end up feeling the same. Knowing Naomi, she'll probably pick up on it easily enough. Although her clumsiness is a concern. That aside, what was that dream earlier all about? I felt okay once I started talking with Mao and Naomi, but I can't shake the weird feeling from when I woke up. I've never felt like that before. I can't even say for sure if I was actually dreaming. Huh? What's that? It was not a dream. It was not a dream. In the middle of telling myself to forget about it and try to sleep, I noticed a thick book on top of my desk. It's an auburn color with some gold leaf decorations on it. I assume these are gears? Seems like the kind of book my grandmother would like, but I don't remember putting it here. Oh, I have a choice, huh? Well, if I better not mess with it. Looks pretty expensive, so I shouldn't mess around with it. Might as well message Gran about it tomorrow, considering it's already this late. My phone vibrates after I turn the lights off and hop into bed. It's a message from Naomi. Let's see. Thank you for offering to help. I'm looking forward to this. She's a sincere girl, isn't she? I sent a quick emoji in response, and then placed my phone beside my pillow without checking to see if she reads it or not. No escape. Huh? I'm pretty sure I've fallen asleep, but I feel conscious. Except, I can't move my body or even speak. Is this sleep paralysis? Or maybe it's a lucid dream. Hey, I hear a man's voice, but I don't know to whom it belongs. A figure appears soon after, but I can't make it out all that well. It's someone slender with a vaguely androgynous face. I can't respond, so I wait for him to continue. I see fate has led your life to its conclusion. Ha ha ha. No need to get depressed, though. You've been given the rare chance to live again over the next 12 weeks. Surprising, huh? Yeah. Tell me all about it. Don't get the wrong idea. There's nothing uniquely special about you. It's all down to the fate you carry. He spouts this nonsense at me in a calm, almost rehearsed fashion. Who am I, you ask? Also nobody special. I'm just the one who watches you from above. Under normal circumstances, I'd never meet with anyone personally, but fate has deemed that your dreams will connect you to here. Anyway, I had planned on more introductions, but I think that's enough for now. But before the curtains rise on this play, let's kickstart your memory a bit. The man disappears as soon as he stops talking. My consciousness fades away once more. So we're definitely dead, but like kind of not? Are we back to being dead? Flames envelop me. Flames powerful enough to flake the skin from my bones. Flames that produce enough smoke to smother my lungs. My life turns to ash. My inability to move even my fingertips tells me as much. I hear someone shouting. Whoever it is keeps shouting over and over. Their calls are eventually drowned out by the roaring flames that continue to spread. By the time the voice has been entirely drowned out, my consciousness has extinguished. Death. Awakened. Ah! I wake up from my own uncontrollable scream. What an awful nightmare. I was engulfed by flames and died. I'm drenched in sweat. My breathing's beyond ragged. Even worse, I notice a strange black blob on my stomach, all the while wondering why I even had such a dream. Oh, it's just you. Lethe? This is our cat, Lethe. I'm still not sure if my grand got it or it was originally a stray, but it's made Lionhouse its home. What kind of cat name is Lethe? I guess it makes sense, actually. I see it. I see it now. It's been here as long as I can remember, but it's still pretty lively despite its age and its name. Maybe I was struggling to breathe because it's lying on my stomach. Is that why I dreamt what I did? It jumps from the bed and skitters off when it realizes I'm about to get up. Must be nice to do whatever you want. They say cats are free spirits, and Lethe is a perfect example. I don't know where it usually goes to hang out, but it doesn't cause any trouble here and it knows where to do its business. My girl always says that trying to keep a cat caged is about as pointless as trying to catch clouds. In other words, she's had her fair share of trouble with it as well. I have myself a good stretch before I get ready to open the store. Today's a holiday, so it needs to be open nice and early. Totally nothing weird going on. Normal day. Just as I think I can relax after the morning customers have left, the bell on the door chimes. Oh, hey Miharu. Good morning, Rinka. In trots a tall and stylish girl with matching looks. The sun reflects off her long, silky hair, enough to make it seem like she's generating her own light with each and every step. Oh, she's pretty. Look at it. That's Mishima Miharu for you. She's a classmate of mine, part of our to be avoided group. But in her case, it's more because she's practically perfect in every regard, so people find it hard to approach her. The too perfect and wonderful, therefore we cannot be near you. Are you off work today? Nah, my shift starts soon. I should have figured, considering she's wearing her school uniform. She normally wears her own clothes when around in public, but I guess she can't be bothered to pick something out to wear for work. Hopes her to avoid getting hit on by guys on the way home too. Not sure how that works exactly, but hey. Thing is, she works way out in Akihabara. This is by Shinjuku, pretty much the opposite side of town. So why'd she go out of her way to come here? Does she need something? Just popping by to see your face. We didn't get to talk much yesterday, and since we're off for the next few days, I want to talk to you before vacation stuff. Right. Thanks. I have to admit, there are certain facets of Miharu that I just don't get. I'm very confident that she has some other business out here, yet here she is, teasing me. It's hard to find the right response sometimes. Anywho, I hate to distract the other customers, so I should be on my way. Time really slipped by as I waited for the opportunity to be with you alone. Why wait? It's all regulars here, so they wouldn't have cared. The weather's so pleasant today. I kinda enjoyed taking on the greenery, so... Okay. Whatever floats your boat, I guess. There's a park across from here. It's famous all over the country. Apparently it's an old samurai's garden that became a park after being used as a zone for experimental agricultural projects. Not only does it have all sorts of flowers from here, England and France, but there's also plenty of tourists who come by to see it. Fortunately, we're a bit out of the way to draw them in as customers, but a couple of foreigners do find us and stop by every now and again. It's nice. We have a good view of it from here. Although I don't think it's the kind of thing you can enjoy for long. Miharu has some particular tastes, though, so who knows? Maybe she can. Well, my apologies for intruding. Do be sure to get some rest, will you? Oh, she has long hair. My goodness. Sure thing. Good luck with work yourself. Oh, before I go, you haven't forgotten our promise to go to Stardust Kingdom on the 5th, have you? Be sure to tell everyone the cafe will be closed on that day. Come on, as if I'd forget. Stardust Kingdom's a famous theme park out in the Chiba Prefecture. We made plans to go there at the end of Golden Week, fully aware that it'd be as busiest. Just making sure, considering your past record. Anyway, see you then. Yeah, bye, see you later. Miharu leaves with a smile on her face. I had to stop myself from saying bye, because Miharu isn't fond of people saying that whenever they part ways. I get where she's coming from. It sounds like what you'd say for a long-term parting, but I think she's going a little overboard. Either way, I try to keep myself from using it when I can. Perhaps there's deep psychological scars. Just as I'm waiting to brew some coffee for myself, someone else makes their way through the door. Welcome. Oh, Naomi. In comes another friend. Can't say I'm surprised by a cute outfit choice. Oh, good morning. Morning. Come on in. The fact that she didn't mention Miharu must mean they didn't cross paths. Naomi seems a little down though. Not only that, but I can tell she had second thoughts about coming inside, either because there weren't any other customers or because she's conscious of the fact that I'm trying to run a business. What's up? I still haven't asked my gran about an easy way for beginners to make some relatively good coffee, so hopefully she hasn't come to ask about that. I had the option of teaching her myself, but I'd rather not do that with my own relative lack of knowledge. Yesterday, I think I might have left something here. A book by any chance? A thick, expensive looking with golden gears in the back and front? No, I'm fairly certain I didn't leave a book here. Ah, figures. Not sure why I asked when she never stepped foot in my room, so obviously she wouldn't have left anything there. Turns out, it is her pencil case. She could have just sent a message about it last night. Apparently she only noticed it was gone this morning. She lives here in the Shinjuku area, so she just decided to take a walk and drop by to pick it up. Oh, but my mom just messaged me. Guess I left it on the kitchen table. Sorry about this. Well, that settles that. It's so Naomi to do something like this, though. Since you mentioned it, what kind of book were you talking about earlier? She jumps back to a topic I'm not expecting. Oh, did I pique your interest? You certainly did. I'm curious, because you said it seems expensive. Oh, wasn't she also, like, in the incident, though? So maybe, like, she's asking not because of that, but because she recognizes it, because she has one of her own. Oh, Naomi. Makes sense, considering you're into books. Give me a second, I'll bring it down. Not gonna have any customers right now, and the street's fairly empty. I make my way up the stairs to get it. Here you go. An auburn cover with gold leaf decorations. I can tell Naomi's impressed, judging by the hushed noises she's making while examining the cover. This trumps what I had imagined. It seems very old, but doesn't have the smell that the other old books do. Do you mind if I open it? Go ahead, but it's pretty weird. How so? Her inquisitive look shifts to a confused expression upon opening it. Can't blame her. There aren't any real pages, just a big rectangular hole in the middle. You're right. This is weird. It reminds me of those old magical card books that were popular back in the day. Card books? Did you ever watch that one show where a girl would transform using cards and fight things? Huh. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. The book is just a glorified box for you to store the cards in, so... Wait a minute. Aren't these cards at the bottom? I didn't notice at first because they're so thin, but... Oh, you're right. They share the same pattern as the cover, so I never noticed. Can I take them out? Huh. Probably shouldn't mess with it anymore. It might be my gran's. Let me ask her about it first. It's no regular book, at least. I'd feel bad if we uncover something she's been wanting to keep secret. Like the will. That's why it's best to ask before we pry any further. Nami's hands fly off the book almost immediately after I said that. Sorry. I always get so carried away when it comes to books. I shouldn't have been fiddling with it so much. Don't worry about it. I'm the one who brought it down. You could tell she was entranced by it. I guess a book like this would fascinate anyone who's as into books as her. Okay, I should probably put it back upstairs. As soon as those words fall out my mouth, someone new walks through the door. An actual customer. Not one of the regulars, though. A woman with a suitcase, likely a tourist from abroad. She ends up asking where our hotel is, which is apparently close to Shinjuku. I end up telling her that she's come a bit too far out. Apparently she's come to Japan alone to tour all the famous temples, but is in a bit of a pinch since she can't understand the language. Once I tell her where to go, she thanks me and goes on her way. She doesn't order anything, but she is kind enough that I can forgive her. Wow, I had no idea you were that good at English. Now we can't contain her excitement after the woman leaves. What do you mean? I'm awful at it. Are you trying to be humble? You were speaking fluent English to that lady. Huh? Now I'm the one who's surprised. We were speaking English? It felt as natural as any other conversation to me. And again, she did mention that she didn't understand Japanese. There's no way she'd say that as if we had such a fluent conversation. Oh. Maybe some kind of like resurrection thing that make, I don't know, for purposes, I don't know. What's going on here? I hope you don't expect an answer from me. After putting the book upstairs, I return with one of my English textbooks. Throw some questions at me. Okay, how about basic vocab? Let's see. And then she fails at it. She throws some questions at me like I ask, and lo and behold, I can barely answer them. See? That doesn't begin to describe my English skills. I understand that, but I'm concerned for a different reason. She tries to be as polite as possible when pointing out my inadequacy. Funnily enough, she didn't have to look back to the textbook for the last few questions. It's worth noting that, while studying isn't exactly my forte, English is a subject I struggle with more than others. That makes the fact that you were talking with her all the more strange, then. It felt like I was having a regular conversation, so if anything, I'm more dubious about whether or not Naomi's right. I doubt anything will come from thinking it over for now, so I'll pay more attention next time a foreigner comes along. Well, now that I'm here, could I order a coffee, please? Not for free, of course. I don't mind, but... Don't worry. I meant it when I said I really like the coffee you make. The smile on her face is almost blinding as she speaks. I can feel my cheeks warming to a bright red. It's hard to describe the happiness those words instill me with. Oh, you're blushing, aren't you? That's very interesting reaction. It might actually be the first time anyone stood up to me, considering I mainly serve regulars. They typically compare me to my gran, which isn't all bad, but they never praised me as an individual. That's why I can't help but be taken aback by what she said. Enough so that I struggle to give her a proper response, let alone thank her for it. Aww. My besties, and maybe something more. I make some coffee for her, and she sips on it while reading a book. As she does that, I either handle orders for customer or clean up the tableware. Once an hour has passed, Naomi gets her things together and comes over to the register. I feel bad taking money from a junior, but she seems satisfied enough. Oh yeah, you got any plans for the last day of Golden Week? Sunday, I mean. No, I don't. Why? Me, Mao, and Miharu are planning to go to Stardust Kingdom, but we'd rather have an even number so no one ends up on a ride alone. Wanna come? Stardust Kingdom? I'd love to go. Good, I'll tell the others, and we'll get a group chat set up for it. Actually, will Miharu be okay with this? Huh? Do you two not get along? Oh, no need to worry about that. As long as you're up for it and your purse permits it, you're welcome to come. Okay, if you say so. I'm not quite sure why she's acting so reserved in regards to Miharu, but at least she's willing to join us. I get back to work after seeing her off. There's some history there, I guess. The first thing I do once I return to my room at the end of the day is message my gran. Seems like she's willing to think up a recipe for us. The book doesn't ring any bells for her, though. Seems like there are several books here with similar bindings, but they're just plain old books. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't curious about them, but that isn't enough to make me want to search through my gran's room. Tempted. Might as well sell it. At first, I planned on selling it, but I didn't know what kind of store would buy it when there's no real content to it. Then there's the fact that they need to check the contents first anyway, so... Damn, it's like, nope, you gotta look at it now. I flipped the book over, dropping the cards out. 4 in total. All have a pattern similar to the book's cover. Turning them over to their fronts, I noticed something written on their white background. The writing itself is in English, but I can read it perfectly fine for some reason. Name: Shishima Mairinka. Name: Federico Carminati. Cause of death: fire. Regret: gold medal. Why is my name written there here? Oh, I knew about the cards thing. Because I knew about the mechanics of it. Of like the game they got going on here. That like you get like cards of information. I can't help but ask out loud. I'm not too sure what the other cards are about, but it's easy to imagine that it's nothing good when a cause of death and regrets are mentioned. There's probably a whole bunch of them, considering the numbers, enough to fill up the entire hole in the book, I'd guess. When did all the other cards disappear, though? More importantly, why was this book in my desk in the first place? I scoured the internet as well, but nothing relevant comes up. Whatever the case, these cards have personal information on them. Doubt someone who just so happens to have the same name as me either. Obviously, you should sell them. Go sell them right now. Aw, selling the book isn't an option now because we're party poopers. I put the cards back inside before placing the book on my bookshelf. It's probably worth showing Naomi whenever she's here next. 2 pairs of eyes are better than 1 after all. I should message Mao, actually. I whip my phone out and send her a message about Naomi joining us for Stardust Kingdom, to which she replies almost immediately. Really? Like, really? Jeez, don't get me wrong, I want to go with Naorin, but... whatever. Let me tell Miharu about it. I was like... a bit odd for a response. Okay. I was wondering how it looked at the log, because I didn't really process footage thread. Should Naomi join us for Stardust Kingdom? Oh geez, I don't know, now I've read, but whatever, let me tell me. So there is a history between those two, huh? Well, a bit odd for response, she said there's no issue with Naomi joining us. She emphasizes that I shouldn't get in touch with Miharu though. Well, a bit suspicious, Mao is usually the one who gets stuff sorted out, so I don't pay it much mind. I'd rather think about the fun theme park experience waiting for us in a few days. Fun. Totally nothing bad's gonna happen at the theme park. Nothing ever bad happens at theme parks. The store will be open tomorrow, as per usual, so I make my way to bed nice and early. Snore, snore, sleep. Sleep, sleep, snore, sleep. 1 hour after the park opens, we finally pass through the hellish queue to get in. Yay, theme park! Yay, no weird dreams. Everything's fine and normal. We came about an hour early, but it turns out others came even earlier than that. At least we didn't have to wait in line for tickets, thanks to asking Mal to pick them up beforehand. Still, we totally underestimated how busy it'd be during Golden Week. Phew, finally inside. Want to take a quick selfie? Shizzy and wait for a response for snapping some pictures. Some with me, some with Miharu, some just by yourself. Your battery's gonna die if you're always taking pictures. No worries, I've got a power bank with me. Smart. I wouldn't mind taking a picture with you, Rinka. Let's all squish together then. I don't mind, but hey, might as well get a picture of you two together. Picture, yay! Naomi tries to hide her bewilderment through awkward laughter. Cool. Yeah, this purses, ladies. Time to splurge. Already? Shouldn't we actually ride some of the attractions first? I agree. I'm not typically a fan of roller coasters, but I might be fine if I'm staying besides Rinka. Aw, but theme park's all about the cute trinkets you can buy. Oh yeah, there's a parade later on that I want to see. You down now, Rin? I'd like to see the parade too, but I'll leave the decisions to you three. Look like Naomi's decided to just go with the flow. Can't blame her either. Pitching an idea to this group is kind of difficult. The closest thing from here is Brilliant Tower. Seems like it's a freefall ride. Freefall rides. I don't like freefall rides at all. I just do not have any delight in dropping down. I prefer not to go against gravity into the air and then come back down. I don't want to wait in another line. Oh, apparently they have tickets here that let you skip ahead of the line, but there are a limited amount. I looked into that myself while we were waiting to get in. Wouldn't be able to use them for another hour because it's so busy, but it might be worth getting some now. Sounds good. Let's check out the shops while we pick this up. The parade isn't until later in the day, so let's decide if we want to see it or not after getting some rides in. Whoa, Leader Rinka is up in here. I'm fine with that plan. I'll leave everything to you. And with that, we make our way over to the ticket machine. Just me and the besties. I can feel myself getting excited about how fun today will be. And then today was actually fun, wow. She got to have her whimsy before the horrors kicked in. Oh, whoops. Oh, there's a lot of descriptions, right? Tokyo Stardust Kingdom might be located in a Chiba prefecture. It's like a Disneyland parody. Or it's like a different theme park it's parodying. The sky is pitch black when closing time looms near, allowing all the fancy illuminations to light up the park. Me and Miharu take a rest on one of the benches near the entrance, since Mao and Naomi split off from us to buy something they forgot to get earlier. Nothing but couples around here. Want to sit somewhere else? Wait. There's an idea in my brain. Maybe, and just maybe, the reason why Miharu and Naomi don't get along is because they both are crushing on Rinka, and they know it, and they're both jealous of one another. Like, don't touch my Rinka, don't touch my Rinka. And that's the source of their friend drama. Easy. I figured it out. I'm smart. Hardly surprising, considering a theme park on a holiday. Still, it feels awkward sitting around people who are openly flirting with each other. You can also openly flirt with people if you want, Rinka. I try to get up so we can move elsewhere, but Miharu grabs into my sleeve and stops me. I can push her away, or I can go, No, let's stay here. For just a bit longer. Okay then. Okay then. Today's truly been a good day. It's not often you respond like that, after all. It's not often she wears such a... Oh, but 1 second. Okay. Sorry, I had to get up for a second. Intrusions as it is. It's not often that she wears such a shy expression either. She's normally a lot more outspoken, but something seems to be on her mind right now. Soon after, people started to gather around us to see the impending parade. Seems like we picked a pretty good spot by coincidence, judging by the number of onlookers. The only issue is that it'll be hard to meet back up with Mao and Naomi if it gets any more packed, so I try the move again. Miharu maintains her refusal to let go of my sleeve though, and I fail to find the words to make her stop. Oh ho ho! We have homosexual things happening here, it seems. The silence between us continues. This isn't normal. People tend to get the wrong impression about her, since she rarely talks to anyone other than us. But she actually has a great sense of humor. She enjoys talking about the most meaningless stuff too. And yet, here we sit in utter silence. She's looking a bit shy, but there's determination in her expression as well, so I can't bring myself to say anything. The park staff sets up barricades near the bench during this time to make sure no one can get in the way of the parade before I start to organize people into lines. We could just stay seated, but doing so while the rest of the crowd waits around all excited feels too awkward. Hey. Rinka. We speak at the same time, possibly because we're thinking the same thing. What is it? You go first. Oh, I just wanted to say that today was fun. It really was. Want to stay and watch the parade? I'll send Mao a message if you do. I'd love to. This is the first time I've been to a theme park, so I was curious about the parade. I rarely go anywhere with my family, and I tend to stay in at night. That's so? Her only response to me is a smile. Back to an awkward silence. The only difference is that she has a downcast expression now, which morphs into one of worry. But then that hint of determination returns. What I wanted to say earlier was, I love you. As soon as she starts, the people around us begin to cheer. She was definitely gonna give a love confession there. Oh my goodness. No way she wasn't. Immediately after, all the park illuminations go dark, which signals the start of some lively music. Looks like the parade's starting. It sure is. The sheer amount of noise coming from the parade makes it impossible for us to talk while it's going on. Regardless, just seeing it is enough for me. It's one of those things you can just sit back and appreciate. The parade comes to an end about a half hour later. Part of me is still entranced even after the park illuminations spark back on. Once most of the people who've come to see it move on, I'd tell Miharu that we should go too. She slowly loosened her grip on my sleeve before standing. The beautiful Yuri. I'm glad that an hour and 20 minutes in, I am not disappointed. That was very pretty. And Miharu fumbled by not saying it. Yeah, it was. I'm glad we watched it. I hope this isn't the last time we all go out together like this, or just the two of us, you know, next time, haha. She says this with a dramatically different tone of voice. Don't worry, there'll be plenty more chances. Not like we're parting ways anytime soon. Right. Thanks, Rinka. Hearing that is enough to keep me going. Next event is the fireworks display in August, I guess. I haven't talked to Mao about it yet, but let's all go to that. I make sure to emphasize that we should all go. Definitely. She replies with one clear, simple word. So clear, in fact, that it worries me a little. Normally, you wouldn't be so firm about playing a night out with friends. Oh, she definitely just wants to go alone with Rinka, doesn't she? But she can't just say it because she's not brave enough. So she just kind of stews quietly. Not bitterly, maybe a bit bitterly, but quietly. My phone vibrates. Mao just sent me a message, and when I turn around upon reading it, both her and Naomi are walking towards us. Oh, here they come. Let's get going then. Miharu? Oh, sorry. I spaced out for a sec. Let's meet up with them. I wave the two of them over after she says that. Bleh. Struggle city with that sentence. The first thing I do when I get home is take a good shower. Today has been absolutely exhausting, so my body insists that I dive straight into bed afterwards. Today was fun. I'm not exactly rolling in money, so I couldn't buy much, but I did come home with something precious. I'm sure I don't need to say what it is, either. My gran even gets back to me about relatively cheap and tasty beans, as well as a way for beginners to make decent drip coffee. School's back in session tomorrow as well, so I need to make sure I teach Naomi properly. Once I hop into bed, my eyes are drawn to a certain book on my bookshelf. I still haven't told Naomi what the card's inside. I should do that when she comes over to learn the coffee brewing technique. I turn my light off, ready to fall asleep. And someone breaks in and steals cards, and then... Yep, today really was fun. I find myself repeating the same thing I said a few moments ago. We're still a ways off from a fireworks display in August, but I'm already looking forward to it. There's no doubt we'll do plenty of other stuff before that, too. So I figure anyway. I still have no idea what's in store for me. I never even considered the possibility of my daily life being disrupted by something far beyond my imagination, like terrorist bombings and magic. Morning already? Doesn't feel like I've been asleep for very long, but that might just be because I was so exhausted last night. Good evening, my lovely little slaves to fate. Oh, you certainly took your time, numeral 1. I am wrong. I haven't woken up. This is the same thing that's been happening to me these last few days. I'm still asleep and yet conscious for some reason. Slowly, but surely, I open my eyes. Oh, here we are. We're in like a courtroom. The sight that greets me is one I could never have imagined. A number of years float amidst infinite darkness. I gaze up and I notice a faint ray of light piercing said darkness. Then it finally registers that I'm standing up, not lying down. I find myself on a circular platform about 3 meters in diameter. A witness stand, like one you'd see in court, is attached to the platform. I've only ever seen one in the news and on TV shows. Even more baffling is that this platform seems to be floating. It's attached to a much larger circle, but floats independently of it. This is just one of 12 platforms, by my count, all of which are arranged within a larger circular pattern, like a clock's face. As if in support of the analogy, the platform on which I stand is labeled with the Roman numeral 1. 1. In the center of these concentric circles are massive clock hands, slowly ticking away. They're ticking. Oh shit, we got the side portrait. We can see ourselves. See? Oh, it isn't dang on. We've been seeing ourselves for a while, but we can see ourselves in like a cooler, like in a courtroom. What the hell? Where is this? Why, of all people, are you here? Oh, and inhale sharply the moment I hear that voice. The platform beside me, which be the Roman numeral 2, has none other than Miharu standing on it. Me? Excuse me? Oh. Excuse me, numeral 1. I suggest you refrain from calling her by her name. Aw, hell yeah. Look at her. A voice I don't recognize stops me. I look in the direction from which it comes, only to see a small girl with white hair. Huh? How are you walking on thin air? Unlike the rest of us, she's standing on a circular platform. She's walking around on nothing at all. She takes another step forward, stopping the subsection, attaching our platforms together. The hem of her skirt flutters up slightly, which reveals her slender thighs. Her hair is as fluffy as her clothes, the latter which resembles the attire worn by a foreign noble. The hat nestled on her tiny head is kinda cute, too. Our eyes meet as we turn to face one another. You will address me as Parsa, goddess of destiny and a supervisor of divine selection. In simpler terms, I am an existence far above ye mortals. Wanna run that by me again? Ah, I see a shock caused by your death resulted in slightly stunted memory retention. I'm fairly certain I explained things to you once already, but alas, allow me to repeat myself. Sorry, I guess, but I also have no idea what you're talking about. Could I not explain things faster if you keep your mouth shut tight? She sighs again, obviously unimpressed. She needs to do the 1, 2, 1, 3 eyes on me. Her attitude towards me, despite her being visibly younger, makes me want to keep interrupting her. So you were able to enjoy the past few days like normal simply because you forgot? In that case, you're best off listening to her. For your own sake. Oh, so Miharu... Oh, she knew shit was up. She knew... But that's why she was probably acting like... Oh... Or because she wanted to ask her about like what was going on here, but like... Ringa didn't seem to like really mention her, bring it up first, so she felt hesitant. Oh, it's fascinating. Oh, it's terrible. Terribly fascinating. But, let me rephrase that. Please listen to her. Right. Are you quite finished? If so, the rest of you may take this opportunity to refresh your own memories. She makes her way along a clock hand to the center of the clock face. She continues her explanation mid-step, her tone as elegant as they come. All of you gathered here have found yourself at the juncture... Oh. Okay, break time. Sorry. We ordered Indian food. My mom's like, if you don't get your portion right now, I'm going to eat everything left and you won't have anything. I was like, damn, okay, I'll go get some to put on a plate for later. But yeah, back to Fatal 12, and she thought to explain the rules to this weird situation we found ourselves in. All of you gathered here have found yourselves at the juncture of causality, and thus have been granted an opportunity to escape death. We call the process involved in affording this opportunity divine selection. I stated before, my name is Parka, goddess of destiny. We have a mere 12 weeks, 11 when excluding tonight, to spend together, but I hope they prove fruitful nonetheless. Ah, fuck. She reaches the center of the clock by the time she finishes her self-introduction. She then stands tall, pinches her skirt, and bobs a curtsy to us before continuing her explanation. Under normal circumstances, all 12 of you would be gathered in one location the exact same time 12 weeks from now, when Divine Selection ends. However, your lives all came to an end before that could occur. You're all in different locations, yet amusingly enough, your deaths occurred the exact same moment in time. Interesting. This occurrence is what we refer to as the juncture of causality. The juncture of causality. Okay. Tell it whatever you want, but I'm struggling to keep up. And I'd be a bit more alarmed, but personally, but if what she's saying is true, then me and Miharu, not to mention the others here, we're dead. I thought Naomi would be among the dead, but Miharu took me by surprise. I was not expecting that one, I meant. What happened? That can't be right, though. I've been living my life normally until now. So, am I a ghost? That makes even less sense. Confused though I may be, I listen to what this girl has to say. Location is irrelevant during this occurrence, as your individual consciousness transcends the mortal coil the moment you die. I'm sure you've all experienced something similar while alive. I believe dreaming is the term you use to refer to it. To that effect, let us refer to this as the dream world. This world has many facets. Not only does it serve as one of its many parallel worlds, but it also acts as individual mental worlds, while simultaneously comprised of humanity's collective dormant consciousness, a world that theoretically does not exist, subsiding in a fragile state. Some work was required in order for you all to be cognizant of such a world. It's for that purpose I created the Court of Fate, where you all now stand. I take in my surroundings. No walls, no ceilings. Calling this place a court does feel fitting, considering how odd it is. It's a Danganronpa court. I don't even know how old this game is. It could have predated. When did Fatal 12 come out? Who invented Danganronpa court? Fatal 12 or Danganronpa? It came out in 2018, baby. Wow, it's really new, actually. I thought it would have come out later. Huh. Goes to show. Bestowing a name upon that which does not exist is the simplest, most effective way to instill meaning. I do hope you keep that in mind. Cut the crap and let me put a name forward already. A man's voice cuts in as if to silence Parka. Hey, let the woman speak. The voice originated from the platform to my right, emblazoned with the Roman numeral XII. I don't remember what number that is off the top of my head. The man standing there has brown skin. He's tall and muscular with a hardened face. I assume he's from the Middle East. Actually, wait a minute. Isn't it odd that both Parka and this guy can speak Japanese? Why didn't I realize that sooner? Oh yeah, that's why she can understand that. It's so they can communicate. All these different people can communicate. That evens the playing field, I suppose. Everyone sounds so natural that the thought never crossed my mind. Nothing good comes from being impatient. I'm about to mention the most important part. She gives a stern yet composed warning. Let us return to the topic at hand. Of the 12 present, only one will be able to realize the rest of their fate. Oh. Oh, only one. Oh, that's not good. My Yuri dreams are falling apart already. It's doomed before I even look at it for 5 seconds. The cause of your deaths have been temporarily silenced while divine selection proceeds, but this will be undone for all those eliminated during it. Not only that, but any events in the real world caused by an eliminated member will also be undone during this period. It may be wise to consider yourself's existences removed from the natural state of the world until divine selection has run its course. In other words,
You cannot die by any means other than divine selection, although injuries and the like will occur as normal. I certainly hope this answers your silly questions, numeral 1. She shoots me a sharp glance before she continues to speak. Much as I'd rather not, it's hard to feign ignorance after hearing her explain things this much. So all 12 of us are here to kill one another? You are 90% correct, my dear. No killing will go on in here, however. How uncouth that would be. Instead, you will simply erase one another. One cannot kill that which is already dead, after all. Such an unpleasant description. Miharu and I aren't the only ones to react, either. The others have their own thoughts to share in the matter, too. Parsa's voice, along with all of ours, resounds throughout the court so we can hear each other speak. I don't have it in me to take a good look at all the others gathered. My eyes are glued to the person on the platform beyond. I need to look up the numbers that just say. Roman numeral. Oh my god, please just tell. Oh. Obviously. Obviously. It's 6. I never think about adding the symbols together. That makes much more sense. Okay. As she sits in a fetal position, lifeless, almost as if asleep, I go back to focusing on Parsa after that in an attempt to take my mind off the uneasiness welling up in me. I can decide whether or not to believe this after she finishes. 3 cards are required in order to eliminate someone. Each of you has been dealt cards detailing a name, a cause of death, and a regret. These represent the present, past, and future, respectively. You'll have a personal card with information regarding yourselves, so I'm sure you understand. Of course, divine selection requires its participants to have some manner of clue in order for it to proceed, so you have all been allocated 3 cards at random with information regarding your peers. What you need to do now is gather the remaining cards on your own. Obtaining information on the other participants is key, as this information will mold itself into the form of a card. Said information must be gathered in the real world. Following this procedure, and you're certain to obtain additional cards without issue. The sole object that links this world with reality is the card book you were all appointed. Behold. I cast my eyes down as she mentions the book. What I initially thought was some kind of handrail is actually a book stand. Resting upon it is a single book. An auburn-colored cover with gold leaf gears decorating it. Why is this book here? I open it up, only to discover it's identical to the one at Lion House. Whoa. A bright light pours out from it all of a sudden. I close my eyes on instinct and slowly open them again when I notice the light gradually fading away. What greets me now are 4 cards, one lined up beside each other, floating above the book itself. New name, Shishimai Ringa. Another name, Federico Carminati. Cause of death, fire, regret, gold medal. Each card has its own details written on them. So guessing like, yeah, she has her name card and then like 3 other cards. Only 1 card has my own information on it though. Maybe that's thanks to my memory being fuzzy? The other 3 have information on the others, so 4 total. I catch myself peeking over Miharu, but I can't see anything due to the light pouring from her book. We're not allowed to know what cards other people have. Not even how many. That explains the bright light stopped me from seeing anything. Miharu gives a concise explanation of her discovery. She must have noticed me looking over at her. Meanwhile, Parka pays us no mind, opting instead to continue her explanation. The election order is decided after each participant decides what they wish to do. Keep in mind that the numbers you have been assigned will not prevent anyone from electing another. Should the person you elect opt to elect you in response, whoever reveals 1 personal card to the remaining participants earns election priority. She continues her explanation to proclaim that if both reveal person's personal card, they're required to reveal another. If both parties reveal all 3 cards, a stalemate occurs, which occurs when all their participants receiving their information running the risk of being elected. Nothing more. We only have 3 pieces of information, so revealing just one is risky enough. Conversely, if you refuse to reveal a personal card, then you'll be eliminated. Huh. I've only got 1 personal card. What's up with that? Parker moves on before I can ask. Another point to stress is regarding successive elections. For example, numeral 1 elects numeral... That's like a 10, right? Yeah, elects numeral 12, and numeral 3 elects numeral 1. Should numeral 1 succeed in eliminating numeral 12, then numeral 3 is given the opportunity to eliminate numeral 1. Once all have decided whether or not to elect someone, said elections will take place in chronological order based on your numeral. So concludes the basic rules governing divine selection. However, now this scenario can involve numeral 1 electing numeral 12, and numeral 12 elects numeral 3. Should numeral 1 succeed in eliminating numeral 12, numeral 3 selection is null and void. In such a case, where the procedure grows more complex, the order becomes fixed so to ensure the maximum number of eliminations possible. Hearing her explain all that makes me realize the meaning behind these cards. I ended up dying at some point without realizing it, and now I'm being forced to take part in this ordeal. It's why I was given these cards. She calls it divine selection, but this whole thing, collecting cards and eliminating others, it's practically a game. A game with our futures at stake. Gathering information on complete strangers isn't an easy task, but so long as you can manage that, then it's basically over should anyone gather all 3 pieces of information about you, right? There does seem to be a solid strategy where you can keep yourself safe. My eyes are fixed on Mihara after hearing her, as I hope she'll continue. It involves holding the 3 cards relevant to whoever elects you. You can use those to protect yourself, causing both your and the cards of whoever elected you to disappear. Or so I assume. They won't be able to elect you after that, but you won't be able to elect them either. But if the one who elects you opts to reveal one of their personal cards in response, they cancel your defense. That's the gist of it, right? Indeed. I'm glad at least one of you can recount the details. We have a very complex life game going on here. I'm gonna go with death game because we're already dead. We're just a life game, but still stressful. What happens if those 2 end up being the only remaining participants? We can cross that bridge if we ever reach it. Let's reach it right now. She makes it clear that she has nothing else to add. I try to interject, but she ignores me. That's not all though. There's a way to escape being eliminated even if you're elected, isn't there? A grin flashes across Parker's face in response. For example, oh, she's locking in on this. She's asking all the questions. For example, if one participant is elected by 2 others at the same time, both have to fight for the right to elect them, and as Parker said before, they'd have to reveal 1 personal card for that, right? Correct? Does the election get cancelled if neither chooses to reveal personal card? You certainly have your wits about you. Yes, that is correct. Mihara closes her book when she notices Parsa is about to continue her explanation. I try to close mine, but it forces itself back open until the cards make their way back inside. After they have, I can close it just fine. Seeing real objects behave like a smartphone app is a bit weird. Keep in mind that each individual can only make 1 election per night. The election itself begins once all participants have decided whether or not to take part. Should one participant obtain all 3 pieces of information with the revelation of another's personal card, they must wait until the next night to elect them. Looks like there's a proper procedure for all this. We are very organized about our life games, you see. We got the cards, we got the procedures, we have the numbers. It's all organized. It's very fair. We've been audited several times, but we sort all the details now. so we can all have a good and fun life game together. Except nobody's having fun but me, but that's all that matters, really, that I have fun. First, everyone has to decide if they want to elect someone, and once they made that choice, the election itself begins. I can tell the rules she's explaining are vital, so I try my best to keep up despite my persistent confusion. I know, like, the other characters are probably silent because it would be, like, chaotic to have, like, 12 people interjecting and shit in the middle of this, like, explanation about, like, the world. But it's just so funny to imagine everyone's like, yeah, this is fine. This is perfectly fine, you know. Life game, it happens, I died. And now I have to fight for my survival. But it's okay, it happens. Let's just sit here nice and quietly and listen. We're so respectful in this life game. There's a merit to eliminating another participant, I should note. In doing so, you have the right to take one of the cards they held. In exchange, though. This has gone on for far too long. The same voice that interrupted her earlier speaks out again. Don't, please. Oh, it's that one girl that we saw. Oh. Did we understand her because she's also in the game with us? That would make sense, I see now. Female 6? Don't, please. Please spare me, Bill. Shut up. You don't have the luxury of babbling on like this either, goddess. The man clearly has no sympathy for the woman pleading with him. Is he just gonna take her out like day one? In fact, he seems to feel nothing at all. Much like Parka. Very well then. Let us begin. Tonight's election shall now take place. Oh boy. I can't recall much of what happens next. Once the man platform 12 elects the woman on platform 6, they're both raised upwards and out of sight. Not long after that, platform 12 descends with the man on it. I assume it means that he has all 3 of her cards and has succeeded in eliminating her. Oh wow. She's gone. After he returns, I think he shows a card to Parka and claims it is a name of numeral 8. Having to say which card you take is probably what she would have explained if he hadn't interrupted her earlier. Which means everyone else gets to know the card he claimed. Worry not. For us, it's all taking place as you sleep. Time flows differently from the real world here. Jesus. We just casually see some snapped and we're just fine with it. This is crazy. I'm used to, like, games like this having a bit more, like, character going, what the hell? This is a lot happening here. But there's generally just, like, radio silence from everyone else in the room, huh? Once again, like, I imagine it's to make things go faster, but as someone who writes a lot of group scenes, it does feel a bit jarring when nobody has anything to say about anything that's going on. It's pretty fun, though. I don't want to be too much of a hater. It's just, that just threw me off a little bit. Worry not, for this is all taking place as you sleep. Time flows differently from the real world here. Once you wake up, you'll be greeted by the morning as normal. Tonight's session results in 1 elimination. I bid you all farewell for now. My consciousness begins to fade when she says that. What about everybody else? The sensation is similar to when you start falling asleep. My train of thought has completely stopped at that point, though. There's no way I can accept this. Not a single thing about it. First week's election concludes. The most accurate way to describe how I felt when I woke up this morning would probably be melancholic. Granted, I'm not sure I even slept in the first place. What I am sure of is that certain things I've forgotten have come back to me. Wednesday, May 2nd, Naomi and I were on our way back to Linehouse from school. We were trapped in a fire on the train at the time. That explained why fire is listed as my cause of death. And it was no dream. It was reality. The fact that I couldn't stop shaking after remembering it lent credence to its veracity. Even if my mind had forgotten, my body certainly hadn't. The fire broke out so fast that I barely had time to react, and I remember a feeling of relief at knowing that Naomi was safe. The bomb. As for how the fire happened, I'm not entirely sure. My body starts to quiver and I get headaches whenever I try to think back. However, I do recall a very specific bag and a keychain attached to it for some reason. It turns out that I did indeed meet Parker after my death, too. Like she said last night, I had already heard her explanation once before. There's no doubt it happened at Odd Dream World, too. I guess I've got no choice for the time being but to believe last night's dream and piece my memories together. What was with that other guy, though? We saw another guy who was like, here's your memories and stuff, and then, like, we haven't seen him since we saw that girl instead. Interesting. I can't wrap my head around this at all. Much as I'd like to be able to, this is the best I can manage right now. Even I accept that it wasn't just a dream, there's still way too much I don't understand. I couldn't find a single noteworthy incident when I checked the internet for any info about railway incidents on that date either. Parker did say that the cause of her deaths had been undone. Does that mean there's like a bunch of people who are also like kept alive? Like, are they gone? Like, what's the explanation for that, I wonder? Because she definitely wasn't the only casualty on that train, right? In other words, this is the fire that killed me never happened once I became a participant in Divine Selection. That's the only explanation. The odd books perched up in my bookshelf like always. I wonder if this one and the one that appeared in the Court of Fate are the same book? If so, that'd mean it makes its way between here and the dream world on its own. Whatever. There's no point overthinking things for now. Still 4 cards in the book, too. Wait, 4? That can't be right. Parker mentioned we'd automatically obtain cards when we learned some accurate information. Something about giving thoughts a tangible form. The card detailing my cause of death isn't here for some reason. That's not all. Mihara turned out to be a participant as well, so she should have her own set of cards. I figured I would at least have the card with her full name since I know it, but I don't. Maybe you don't know her actual name, huh? I wonder if there are some other conditions you need to meet. That isn't the main issue regarding her, though. I've been trying to keep myself from thinking about it, but it's about time I face reality. Only one of us can make it through Divine Selection. That means either me or Mihara will need to be eliminated. Just don't think about it, ally together, and then go down Doom Fury together. That being said, I'd like to talk to her first. There's the tiniest chance this might have just been my imagination going wild. I eventually abandoned my train of thought and get ready to go to school. I made toast for breakfast, but end up shoving it in the fridge because I can't summon the will to eat anything. Oh, look at this beautiful detailed classroom. Morning, Vinny! I thought it would be Naomi, but damn, Mihara threw me off. Mal was already in the classroom by the time I arrive. Amecha's Girls University High School, otherwise known as Amecha High. And apparently a traditional school with facilities from kindergarten right up to college. It's co-ed through middle school, but at the high school level, all the boys have to go elsewhere. People seem to have this image of it being one of the stereotypical all-girls Christian establishments, but it's not much different from a typical top-tier school. Yesterday was fun, wasn't it? Yeah, fun. I can't motivate myself to give a cheerful reply. What I saw last night refuses to leave my mind. Accepting the fact that I should be dead is proving to be a bit tricky. Hey now, where's your enthusiasm? Still tired from yesterday? Wouldn't be surprised considering how much we walked around. Yeah, I ended up falling asleep as soon as I got back. Probably why I woke up super early this morning too. That explains why you're here on time on a Monday. Implying that she is unusually late. Whoa there, what's not implying I'm always late on Mondays, even though it's true. She's like Garfield, but an anime girl. Talking to Mal helps to cheer me up a bit. If it turns out that last night wasn't just my imagination, then I really don't know what to do about it. I'm probably better off just living life like usual, until I get the chance to speak with Miharu at least. Ironically enough, Miharu hasn't arrived by the time classes begin. She's locking it, obviously. In fact, she doesn't come to school at all. I sent her a message, but it's listed as being unread. This, following what's happened last night, causes me to panic. Fortunately, Mao has some calming news for me. Seems like Mihun skipped out today because she was feeling sick. She said she's in good enough shape to go to work, though. Oh, she's definitely gathering information. Huh? She replied to you? Yep, in a flash, too. She never even read my message. Uh-huh. That's weird. Maybe she missed it? I make an expression that screams, "You're so full of it," in response. She tries to avoid eye contact, but eventually gives in when I refuse to stop staring at her. Did something happen between you two yesterday? Huh? Yesterday? I can't but repeat part of her question back at her. Don't tell me tell me that Miharu's told her everything. You two were alone during the parade, right? A wave of relief washes over me when I hear that. She's only talked about the amusement park. In that case, I can't think of anything in particular. Mao seems legitimately concerned, though. I could tell that Miharu's got something on her mind. But what? Who knows? She wastes no time reverting the feigned ignorance. Come on, don't keep me out of the loop. And here I was ready for something heavy, considering how rare it is to see Mal looking so serious. I could tell you, but here's the thing. You're the only one that can solve her problem. Why's that? So, see you later. Hey, wait! Mao ignores me and trots right out of the classroom. She's not in any clubs, so it's common for her to head straight home after school. In fact, she rarely stops by Lion House either. I always get brushed off and never ask what she's been up to. Miharu. What's on her mind exactly? Thinking back to yesterday, she did look like she wanted to say something when we were alone. Considering the dream that followed, the two might be related. Which reminds me, Mao mentioned that Miharu would be going to work. I get what she's saying now. She really does care for her friends. There's just one issue though. I find it hard to keep my concerns about whether she works at Bay. Where she works at Bay. I know the name of the place and where it is, but it's kind of hard to stroll in there. I mean, it's a restaurant by definition, but it's a bit different from your standard fare. I'd be fine if Mal tagged along, but chances are she won't want to. After giving it some thought, I grab my phone and fire off a message. I guess it's... do you come to places like this often? This is a maid cafe. Nope, it's my first time. I was hoping to chat with Miharu since she works here, but... Yep, it's a maid cafe. I had a feeling when she said it worked in Akihabara, like, this is a maid cafe, isn't it? Oh, my throat's starting to hurt a bit. Oh, that might be all I have in me for today, honestly. I was thinking about it, but then I got a little bit invested in what was going on. I wonder if I, like, how past branch in this, because we don't have much of a summary so far. Oh, whoops. Here. I think we're done with that for now. Ah, it's showing my Steam page! No! Why is it showing my Steam page? Get out of the way. I mean, not that there's much exciting there, it's just a bunch of video games. You get to know that I own Enderlose, Endless Monday, Escape Simulator, a lot of escape games, honestly. I don't know. That was weird. It's like another window showing my Steam. I was like, what the hell was that? Where did you get that from? Oh, now it's all the way down there, and I guess it's just a quirk of Fatal 12. It just... I'll fix it later. Let's just go over here. Boom, we're back. Oh, that was nice. You know, I am pretty invested. I'm curious about all the other characters, because we did see that one girl just get immediately eliminated, and she seemed to know his name, but we didn't get, like, much more of, like, a hint of, like, what the other people are up to. It was kind of a silent night, I guess, that elimination round, but I'm very intrigued by the setting. Actually, like, in, like, the last, like, 10 minutes, I was reminded, like, there's this one game I remember there was like it takes place in the apocalypse. It's like a death game. It's not a life game. It's a death game, and it's like that everyone's trapped in an amusement park and there's monsters outside and they have to like cast people out and shit. Does anyone remember that? I need to look that up later. I'm a bit of a death/life game connoisseur myself, so I hope Fatal 12 ends up being enjoyable. I am quite enamored by these characters so far. And I'm hoping my Fatal Yuri promise. I'm holding on to it so badly. It's Fatal Yuri, it's coming, guys. But yeah. Next week, I'm hoping to maybe like add a few more funny things to stream because I've added a few funny things, you know, but I want to add more stuff and maybe some more like interactable elements for a little audience. And also, probably gonna play more Fatal 12 next week. And also, I noticed the Ina game released, and I definitely want to check that out on stream. I really love Ina as a character. Ina's Dream Barbecue specifically. I definitely want to check that out next week. I don't know what the rest of the week looks out like after that. There are some other like shorter kind of segment games that I'm looking at. I don't know if I'm going to do a third stream next week or like just keep with 2, but I'll see when I get there. But for now, let us end things and by harassing my dear friend, my dear wonderful, talented, amazing friend real quick. Okay, time for harassment. Goodbye, everybody. Make sure to eat your vegetables and make sure to make them very tasty vegetables while you're at it because you don't want to just eat fucking raw broccoli, you know? Make it grilled just for you.